So when I first moved to Richmond, I moved to Richmond with this girl that I dated right after I graduated high school. And we kind of moved there all of a sudden. Like we just packed up and went, kind of. And when we got there, we didn't really know too many people. Like my sister lived up there. She was going to school. And my friend Courtney was up there. And aside from that, we didn't really have anybody else that we knew offhand. But over the course of like 6 months or a year or so, we kind of had a loose-knit group of us. There was this dude that I met through some coworkers that was just really chill. He hung out with us all the time. He had like a busted up knee because he did like taekwondo or something like that. And then we had another guy that we hung out with. He was another one of our coworkers. He was really chill. And then his buddy was like an amateur pro skateboarder. He would come around. And then we also had a friend of mine that I went to high school with that was taking classes at VCU. And we hung out all the time. Like we would go, we'd go running in the rock quarry. We'd bring my dog with us every time. I had a car about big enough for all of us. So yeah, we'd all just pile in and head down there and just run around all day, like nonstop. We'd bring a soccer ball and we would just punt it out into the rock quarry and we'd chase each other to it. The dog would chase also. And we were all fairly athletic at the time. Like my friend taking classes, she was like a physical education. I don't know exactly what you call that major. Like I said, the one guy was an amateur pro skateboarder. The other dude now, I want to say he's like a boxing trainer or something like that. And I broke up with that girl, or rather she broke up with me a long time ago. So I've got no idea what she does now, but we were both in decent shape. Restaurant life and all that. And it was kind of just like the weirdest put together little family, like, of people that had, not like we had nothing. Like, but all of us were kind of vagabonds. Like, the apartment I was living in was like just sort of like some slummy place that we found all of a sudden. When you're a student, like your dorm isn't really home. And the other two guys, like, I think were mostly couch surfing. It was just kind of a weird setup for all of us, I think. So it was just kind of weird how we all wound up together, I guess. We called ourselves the Goon-Tang clan because we heard that Childish Gambino got his rapper name from the Wu-Tang name generator. So we put all of our names in. And I remember, I can't remember if it was my buddy that did Taekwondo or if it was my dog, was Silent Prophet or something along those lines. I can't remember what my name was at all. And I'm not just saying that because I was embarrassed by it. I felt like mine was actually a pretty cool one. But yeah, it was, I don't know, it was just like a weird time, the way we all wound up together. And we'd just run around, every now and again we'd like, go down there, we'd smoke weed. And it was just weird. Like, I remember my birthday one year, I was like bummed out because like I was not really talking to my parents at the time because of the way that I moved out and a lot of other stuff that was my fault. And it was my birthday, and I just remember being like really, really bummed out and not really knowing what I wanted to do. And everybody wanted me to have a good time, and I guess I was feeling the pressure of people wanting you to have a good time because those people, they like, that girl really cared about me. Like, at the time, in a way, I'm sure she still does. Maybe I don't know. That might have been a weird thing to say, but yeah, and. So I didn't know what to do because I was just kind of missing my family. I mean, I kept up with my sister just fine, but she was pretty busy with school. She was really in it at the time. I don't think she had changed her major yet. And yeah, so we decided to, like there was this little kind of, you call it like a water park. It was kind of just like a public pool, I guess, near Richmond that had like some water slides and one of those big airbags where you lay on one end and somebody jumps on the other to catapult you. I don't know. Like they wanted to go down there and I like wanted to go but didn't. I just remember being really upset, and that girl that I was dating at the time, I was like, dude, I didn't know what to do. That's what it was. She wanted us to do something fun for my birthday, and I couldn't think of anything, and I was just kind of sad. And so she just decided, like, she took the dog for a walk while I was being a little pussy and just crying to myself. And she came back and she's like, well, Rick and Phil are on the way over, and Courtney will be here soon. And Phil said we should go to this water park. And so we just did that. And I mean, that was my friend with the busted knee. I hadn't met him yet at that point. But yeah, the five of us just went down there and just, I couldn't even tell you what happened for the rest of the day. I just remember being really embarrassed at how sad I was. And that's a really depressing story, Vince. Good work. You took something kind of happy and took it all the way to the other end of the spectrum. What I'm trying to say is you can never really go home, Like, you can go back. Like, I could go back to Richmond, or I could go back to West Point, but, the people are gone. Everything's changed, like the roads, the buildings, the businesses. It's all different. Like, you can go back, but you can never really, like, go back. And then, I don't know, even when you get get the gang back together, it's almost never for a happy reason. And then even if it is, it's never as long as you want it to be. And I guess that's kind of something I always had a problem with, moving forward and being able to just let people go. And yeah, I don't know. I like to think that, in the back half of my life, I'll hit 42 and, like, slowly go backwards, see all those people again. But there's no telling where any of us will be, or what that's going to look like, I guess. But yeah. Anyway.